Fred Film Radio from the 81st Venice Film Festival. I'm Angelo Acerbi here with Alex Ross-Perry, director of Pavements. Good morning.
Good morning.
Saying that your film is complex is an understatement, because it's not a documentary only. It's it's not a biopic only. It's a lot of different things all together. It's a movie about the band Pavement, and it was how this movie was born.
Well, a lot of musicians or artists, they get to a point in their career where it's time to make the movie, right? Mm-hmm. You have to do that. That's a part of our culture. It's not good or bad. It just, if you're one of those people that has reached that level of cultural importance, your fans demand it. Yeah. The public demands it. History demands it. But they didn't want to do anything you'd seen before. They don't want to sit like this in front of a camera, in front of a backdrop that is black, and have me say and then what happened? And then what happened? What happened next? And how'd that make you feel? They don't want to do any of that. They didn't want that. They wanted something that sort of suited their spirit of who they were, which was many different things. Playful, intelligent, snarky, funny, brilliant, stupid. And I just sort of thought, I'm a screenwriter. I've never made anything resembling nonfiction. So it just seemed like, what if we just made this movie that was like an explosion of 4 or 5 kinds of movies you would get with this? Because you could make all of these movies and have it be 90 minutes long, and people would take it reasonably seriously.
Yeah.
They might not think it's good, but they would consider it. So what if you just made all those movies about the same band, situated within a framework that this band is so important that they get 5 movies instead of 1 movie? And then what if all 5 of those movies are squeezed into 1 movie? It just felt like a challenge I'd never seen before.
And then actually, you show the preparation of the reunion tour of 2022. Then there is a pop-up museum dedicated to the band. Then there is your preparation for the musical based on their songs. And when you start thinking about the movie, they were not so big. Well, right? So it's kind of surreal that now you're telling something that it's actually happening.
Yeah, but all those things happened because I did them. Mm-hmm. But when they happened, they made sense because the band did deserve those things. In 2020, when the band hadn't played a show in 10 years, those things, it's not that they made sense or didn't make sense, it's that they never would have occurred to anybody to do them for real. By 2022, when the reunion tour is a success and the band is bigger than they've ever been, these ideas that only 2 years earlier made no sense, were basically a joke, are now transformed simply by time into things that are absolutely reasonable to exist. And the movie becomes more of itself because of that. If the movie existed now, 2 more years later, and the band had achieved no greater success, the idea of them having a museum exhibit would, in the movie, be really funny. And that would be fine. That was what it was supposed to be. But that's not true anymore. The idea of them having a museum exhibit is so logical that fans are mad that they missed it and they wish that they could see it, but they can't in the movie because they're now a band that actually deserves all these things that I said in 2020. So what the joke of the movie is, we're going to take a band that would never have any of this stuff and do it all for a movie. The only thing they probably wouldn't have would be an awards chasing biopic, but now they basically do.
Actually, in the biopic that you are showing the preparation for in the film, you chose Joe Carey and Nat Wolff to play the band, the lead singers and the bassist of the band. Right, yeah. Why not using the real ones?
Well, that's not how those movies go. I mean, they give awards to these impressions of famous musicians. That's the way it's got to be. I mean, we're depicting 1995, and these guys are 55, 60 years old now. So if you believe in the fidelity of this bizarre industry of any legendary musician gets a biopic with famous actor du jour doing an impression of them and wearing the same wardrobe that we remember and recreating things that you can watch on YouTube, then you have to make that movie. Like, you have to do that movie for real. I would never want to do one of those movies. As a director, what's the fun of that? You're just bringing something back from the dead. But to do the movie that's about that, but then our movie is just saying, not, this is a film fictionalizing and celebrating the greatest band. It's saying, why would anybody do this? And if you did it, what would you learn actually about the subjects you're telling a story about by treating it in such a overwrought, fictionalized sense? Let's not say Pavement should have this movie the way they should have a museum or a musical. Let's say, yeah, why would you do this for Pavement? Why would you do this for anybody? This is silly.
Yeah.
Like, that's, these movies come out. What's the number one thing you hear in every interview, every press? The actor disappeared into the character. They got the hair just right. They wore the clothes. They actually had the same clothes. The voice, they worked with a vocal coach. All of that is more interesting to me than actually watching the movie. So for me, I want to see those things more than I want to just watch someone do an impression for 2 hours.
I totally understand and agree. Thank you very much to Alex Ross Perry, Director of Pavements here at the Venice Film Festival. Angelo Acerbi for Fred, the Festival Insider. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.